Welcome to Bent Not Broken, where life's imperfections become new beginnings. Join us as we build, grow, learn, and laugh our way through healing, homesteading, retirement, and everything in between, because we may be bent, but we're never broken. Alright, so you guys are going to water the garden with me while we talk. So this is a sunflower. Look at that guy. So this is the massive one, and it's just kind of laid down. It's like, y'all, I'm too tired. I'm just going to lay here. Like, this thing is humongous. Look at that stalk. And yeah, it just decided, it starts, this is a different one. It starts right there. It just decided I'm gonna lay down and like live my life here. And I think it's absolutely amazing, and Jen's gonna be so happy when that blooms. And then there's a few, it's gonna be, okay, this guy's about to produce a lot. This is the biggest one so far. I'm gonna keep some of the heads to dry out to be able to keep the seeds to reproduce these next year. Some of them are gonna go to the chickens. There's another one that popped up here. That's one, and that's one. And then my potatoes are starting to do the potato thing, which means that I'll be able to harvest soon. And there's more sunflowers back there. So this is not a bunch of random overgrowth shit. This is, except for the briar and the briar and the briar. So with the exception of those guys, like, this is legit actually planted. I think I actually planted a couple down there, and then just they did it themselves, because we had the sunflowers in this bed last year, and they grew up like 6-7 feet tall, and then when they fell over, I guess their seeds went everywhere. Yep, your sunflowers. So yeah, they're just kind of growing everywhere, which is cool. I need to get the ivy off of that, but that looks like different than the ivy I had before. That's what, 5, so is that like poison oak or something? Or sumac? I don't know. My mound has grown grass, that mound. I took down the pool because Maggie was drinking the nasty water, and I finally hacked down that tree guy. Over here, we have, and don't judge me for this, my dead blueberry that I still water because, like, I'm willing it back to life, I guess. And my alive blueberry. Chug, 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 chug. And some pretty bushes. And some pretty bushes. They already bloomed. Hopefully they'll bloom again. I believe they bloomed a few times last year. And I moved my wood pile so that Maggie had more space to run. Gotta water these guys. I really need to pluck that grass, but I only have one hand right now. And those guys, they're not doing so hot. I don't do very well with things in containers. These didn't have drain holes, and so it pretty much died. That one definitely died. But again, will it to live. Come back. Come back to me, I say. Alright. I'm gonna throw my hose over here, and then come inside so we can see what's going on. Ugh. I had to pile it up when I was cutting the grass. So, let's take the trek. Oh, I don't know if I can get through this, because I just, like I said, the pile of wood I put here. And then I had to move my worms. Oh yeah, I got space. I got this. And then I had to put the thing back when Ranger got stuck. So yeah, that little movement right there, that's all it took that day to hurt my back. I already checked the chickens. They were good. They have water. I told Jen we need to put more zip ties and try and keep it up straighter. But the girlies are good. The bucket is still a mystery to everybody but me. I still have yet to find any butt nuggets. I know. I've got to get back here and weed. These sunflowers are or they're growing, but they're just very slow. This is my best watermelon plant. Remember we had 5, then we're down to 4 because Maggie dug one up. But the backside of the hill is doing the best. A lot of my peppers have died out, which kind of sucks, or they were eaten by birds, or I don't know. But there's still some. That guy's doing the best. A lot of my little onions have somehow magically come up. I did pull the one guy the other day, and Jen and I have decided, oh no, that one's rotting. Why? Something got it. We decided that we think it's a spaghetti squash. That looks gross. But someone ate it. But we're still waiting for it to yellow a little bit to see. So we had 4. We plucked one. That one didn't make it, and there's still one back there. I don't see any others offhand. All right, focus. Look at that onion. Chug, 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 chug. Yeah, I really do waterboard some of my plants. But this one is also very hard to water because it's so big. And then like it just started like sprawling out. I don't know what's up. Because I've never grown this before. So I don't know. Alright, I try not to be quite as aggressive with these guys. So yeah, I just sit here and do this for like eternity. And then I try and water the outside guys. But anyways, so I am now, as you guys may have seen, a famous musician. By day, I am a farmhand at my own homestead. And by night, I am Jelly Roll's opening headliner, Peanut Butter Biscuit. And let me just say, so here's how it went down. I don't know if you want to see me or the garden. So, what happened was, as you know, you saw in the video, Jen and I were joking about me being peanut butter and being the opening person, which is absolutely ridiculous. I can't sing, but I did better than I expected, especially from only having rehearsed it literally one time right before I sang it. But anyways, so me just, that joke like stuck in my head for some reason. And yesterday morning, you know, I was up because Maggie woke me up and Jen was sleeping, and so I've got to try and keep the dogs quiet, which is usually when things go south, because like I'm literally just sitting there from about 8 o'clock in the morning until like 2 or 3 when she gets up. Sometimes I can go out in the backyard and do a couple things with Maggie, but that's about it, right? And I've had a couple sips of my coffee and that's it. And I'm just like, you know, that would be really funny. And I just started thinking, and then the next thing I know, somehow I came up with the VeggieTale joke that did not land as well as I expected, but in part, like, I genuinely forgot my joke when I went to do it. So I don't do well with scripts, and so I didn't fully have a script, but I did have my lyrics in my hand. But I had a few little points down on a piece of paper, and I forgot it. Like, that's the one part that I'm like, come on, that sucks. But then it just didn't land. Like, I don't know why. I've tried to write jokes before on paper like that, and when I write them, I'm like, oh my god, that's so funny. And then when I tell it, it's not. So I think in terms of my comedy, I'm more improv, and I've known that for quite some time. But A for effort, I guess. Alright, anytime I water the garden now, I water the chickens, because I'm just so paranoid. So let's water the chickens in the gutter. So, anywho, ugh, stay. This is the hard part. Ah! Okay, we're just gonna hold it. I gotta reposition you now. So, anyways, everything just started like snowballing, I guess you could say. And I don't know. I ran with it. And then one thing led to another. And then I'm finally done with all my brainstorming, or so I thought. And then another thing would pop up. And then by the time Jen finally woke up, like, by the way, I was ready for her to, I almost woke her up. I was ready for her to get up and go to work. I was going to be like, they called me in early. I don't know what to tell you. I got shit to do. And, like, the more that I why are you spraying me? The more that I brainstormed, the funnier and more ridiculous it got to me. And so I'm ready for her to leave, honestly. Okay, chickens, you've got enough water. It's the wind. I don't normally get wet when I water the chickens. But, anyways, and my phone got wet. Do you guys want to water the garden with me? Awesome, look what I found. It's a baby lizard. Like, it's so little. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. Where'd he go? I lost him. There he is. It's just a little baby guy. Hi, Bubby. Where's your mommy? Okay, good talk. Sorry, I was trying to wipe you off. You got a little wet. Hi, mamas. But anyways, what I was saying was the more I brainstormed, like the more in depth I got with all this. Because at first it was just going to be a really short intro. Hey, I'm going to audition to be the headliner. And then like sing a little jingle or two. And it snowballed, as you saw. And I was afraid that people weren't going to take note of some of the ridiculousness. That's why I had like the panned in video of all the things. My little posters, my hat, the hat changes, the shirt changes. Like, I literally had to go to the store, and I spent money on this video to produce it. And then that was my first time ever using glitter vinyl. Look at my strawberries. Oh, something ate that guy. But anyways, that was my first time with glitter vinyl. I absolutely hate it. I hate that there's so much left of it because that shit sucks. It's an absolute nightmare. So there was just one thing after the other with making of the shirts, and it literally took me 2 hours or more to do my shirts, which is absolutely ridiculous. But that's how invested I was. I was committed to it. And I'm really disappointed that the gray didn't pop like it was supposed to. Didn't help that Michael's was like sold out, but I didn't want the same color shirts, but I really should have just done 2 black shirts. So it is what it is on that. I will 1000% still wear that out in public. I don't give a fuck. And if you can actually read it, it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I did pretty good on that. It was a pain in the butt because I had created the image in Canva and it didn't work and all the things, and Cricut Design Space is a pain in the ass. And so then I just had to redo what took me like half an hour to create because the letters weren't working right, and it was a whole thing. And I invested, honestly, entirely too much time making that. And have y'all ever gone to Walmart to buy the entire aisle of peanut butter before? While there's people shopping all around you? If you haven't, try it. It's hilarious. Because people are looking at you as you just keep putting more and more peanut butter in your cart. And then when you go to check out, people were staring at me. But it's a good thing I really don't care what people think. Or I might have been embarrassed. But that was fun. And then Jen got home this morning and I had left the peanut butter out. I almost left my posters too, but I didn't want to give too much away. So my posters were put up, my lyrics were put up, basically everything except for the peanut butter. And so when she finally gets up, the very first thing she says before good morning is, why do we have so much peanut butter? And why are their names on it? And I just started cracking up. I was like, I can't tell you yet. She wasn't awake enough to appreciate my video. Have y'all ever tried to put names of people on the peanut butter before? You probably haven't, because like, who has? That's absurd. I already knew when I was buying the peanut butter who was going to get a name and who wasn't, right? And I tried to get a few different varieties of peanut butter because, I mean, I don't want to get anything that we won't eat. And everybody's not the same. Like, show me two people that are exactly the same and I'll show you that's a lie. So I'm home, I've got all my peanut butter. I know whose name is going on the jars. But how the hell do you determine who's a Jif and who's a Peter Pan? How do you decide who's crunchy and who's creamy? And I'm like, I even told myself at one point, I was like, Michelle, you are way overthinking this. Nobody is going to be offended because they're crunchy and their partner's creamy. Like, no. But I did. I thought way too much about it, and it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out who was getting what jar of peanut butter. And then, because I started with my wife, and I was going back and forth, and because in the store, I did not want to spend like $7 on one jar when I was buying so many small ones, right? And we had dog peanut butter at home, which is literally just a Jif, but it was dog only. And then we had the big one from Aldi's that's off-brand. And Jen doesn't even like that peanut butter, right? But it was a big container. And I'm trying to figure out which one to make Jen. You know, got to start with your wife. And I'm like, well, she needs to be Jif because, like, that's her favorite peanut butter. And, you know, it's, like, America's peanut butter. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just said it. So I'm like, I don't want to make her a small jar. And so I decided to give her the big container because she's just so generic. No, I'm just kidding. I gave her the big container because she's my biggest fan. She's my biggest fan. She's my supporter. She's my rock, you know, as a good wife is. And so, unfortunately, the big container was the knockoff. But it is what it is. And then, if you notice, I feel like somebody else should be explaining my video, but not me. But if you notice, the peanut butter is divided onto two shelves. My three biggest supporters are up top, and my next are on the next shelf. And then just to be funny, we had 3 cans of peanuts that were unlabeled. That was my peanut gallery, and they were underneath the peanut butter. Because I can't wait to hear what the peanut gallery has to say about my performances and stuff. But I don't know, it literally last week when I said that in the video, it really just was a funny ha-ha thing. But the problem with me and how my brain works is funny ha-ha doesn't just stay funny ha-ha, it actually turns into a production. And that's what we have done. And so finally, when my wife was awake enough to appreciate what I put into this, we both watched it. And I will say, this was the hardest video I've done for me to not watch before it's posted. Because I really don't edit anymore. Like, I just don't have the time nor the desire. So I will film things in like different videos. But like I don't sit there and cut stuff and mesh it together anymore. If I messed it up in that one take, that's too damn bad. That's what's being posted. But part of that's, sure, laziness. Part of it's I really don't like editing videos, and the other part is I truly don't care what people think of me. Because, you know, people are gonna like you, some people are gonna hate you, some people are gonna love you. Like, it is what it is. Like, you're not gonna change it. Everybody's gonna have haters to some regard, and I don't care. So if you don't like my videos because they're not edited, feel free to come edit them for me, because I don't have the desire to take the time to do so. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. It was just very difficult for me to not watch this because I had filmed, before she went to work, I had her film her part, and she had no idea what I was doing. I told her, I was like, don't even bother asking questions, you won't get any answers. And apparently she was periodically thinking about it all night, like trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. She had no clue, which I think is amazing. And so we watched this, and we are both laughing so hard we're crying. And that honestly was my entire purpose of this video, was so that we would have something to laugh about, and hopefully some others would laugh at it too. Because most of y'all know me, there's no way in hell I will ever headline for Jelly Roll. Surprisingly, I thought my singing was better than it typically is, so I don't know where that came from, but y'all, come on. Would it be awesome? Sure. If they teach me how to sing and dance and all that stuff, but it was supposed to be 3 things. The video was supposed to be lighthearted. It was supposed to be funny, and it was also supposed to be serious in some parts. I wasn't trying to make a mockumentary of my life and trauma and healing and all of that, but it was more so me mocking an audition. And Jen and I loved it. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a good time, and she thinks it's one of the best things I've ever done. And she is already promoted, I guess, to my social media manager and my producer and like all these things, because she's sending it out to people, and she's already planning next videos. She's going all in, guys. Which, I mean, I've got plenty of ideas in my head too, but like, Jen is on board. She has officially been recruited to the band, and I love that. I do have some ideas for more stuff, but then, like, we watched it a second time, and it baffled me when Jen was like, who is William Hung? And I was like, oh my god, did I age myself? But then I was like, hey, dum-dum, she's older than you. And so I literally stopped the video, and I pulled up his American Idol video, and for the record, I have not seen this in so many years. And when I was filming my audition, I was working so hard, one, not to laugh. Like, keep a straight face, not laugh. But I was also trying to portray somebody really, really nervous. And so when I watched his video with Jen today, I freaking died. Like, it's almost like I directly made his video, but for Peanut Butter and Biscuit. Like, it wasn't necessarily intentional. I wasn't trying to copy him, but like, playing it back, I'm like, oh my god, that's pure fucking gold right there. So like, if he starts blowing up on, or American Idol, whoever posted that video, like, if that starts blowing up overnight, y'all are welcome. I did that. I would like some compensation. Not really. Just called Jelly Roll. But I don't know. It was more so a video for my wife and I. And I just think it's hilarious that I had the balls to put that out for the entire internet to see. Because, y'all, the internet can be nasty sometimes. So we're really about to find out how much Michelle truly doesn't care what people say or think of her. Because, you know, there's a 50-50 shot that video is going to blow up. I mean, like, that's the kind of stuff I told her. Like, if I would have seen that, if I would have been scrolling through my feed and found that, I 1000% would have immediately subscribed to that person and began watching every single thing they had. But then I got thinking, and I talked to her about this. I was like, what has happened to my channel? Like, I told her, I said, you know, we started video 1 like 4.5 months ago or whatever it is now, and we're talking about how I lost my job and my retirement and how I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself. And then we start the homesteading and the gardening and the chickens, and then we start going to concerts and stuff. And now I am the concert. And then in the midst of all that, there's all this family drama. And I never intend for the family drama to come up. It always does when it's so fresh, and like I'm filming a video already about something else, and like it's just weighing heavily on me and it just comes out. And so it's not necessarily intentional, but like I think people need to be more aware of, one, as a parent, how you treat your children. Two, like as an adult child, like I feel like people need to be aware of the fact that what they went through is not okay, and that if you're still being mistreated as an adult, it's time to do something about it, because you deserve more in your life. You know, you can't continue to have people in your life that are supposed to be your number one fans, like my wife, you know, these big supporters. You can't keep these people around that make you stop doing something that you love, or make you stop before you ever start, you know? I mean, we all deserve more than that. And so a lot of this stuff that I'm going through is very new to me, at least in terms of trying to process it and navigate it and heal and grow from it. And sometimes when I watch that stuff back, I'm like, man, I was angry. Yeah, I am. Because you're talking about 34 years of pent up trauma, where anytime there was something that needed to be brought up, I was told just put it in a bottle and keep it inside. Well, fuck the bottle. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. And I mean, sometimes, yeah, I get on here and I just like scream about it. It was rude. I just got assaulted by a bee. But it's just right now, that's what makes me feel better, is getting it out. Because I'm not putting it in a bottle anymore and throwing it in the sea to be found by, I don't know, Jack Sparrow or some shit. I've got to let it out. I've got to get over it, you know? Because that's what I've always been told my entire life. Just get over it. Just drop it. No, we're not going to drop it. We're going to adapt and overcome and like all the things, you know? And I know that healing sometimes is not pretty. And I don't know if I should say I'm sorry or you're welcome that you guys get to come along for this journey. But I feel like Peanut Butter Biscuit is going to be the outlet for that now. I think rather than if something happens or if I got something to say, instead of me coming on here and screaming at you guys in the camera, I'm going to try and just write a little ditty about it and then like perform it, you know? Maybe one day my music will actually be good. And maybe one day Jelly Roll will actually contact me. Or like other people will be like, hey girl, can we produce with you? You know, like who knows? Who knows? Do I think it's going to happen? No. But my wife and I, she was like daydreaming about it. She said, Michelle, this has the potential. Like of all the things, like, this could go viral. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like it's dumb enough to. And I was like, but if it did, like that would do the one thing that I don't want this to do. And she's like, what's that? I was like, I don't want to go out in public and like constantly be recognized. She's like, but that would be how you can spread the mission that you're on and like, you know, help people through their journeys. And I'm like, well, shit, she makes a good point. Like, I don't know why wives have to do that sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. So the gardens are watered because ultimately this is my retirement and it's more than just Peanut Butter Biscuit. And so I have to go back to my homesteading stuff, which I told her, I was like, that's gonna be really weird transitioning from a celebrity musician, an overnight pop star. She goes to work and I start a freaking whole career. But you know, this is daily life. So chickens and gardens and oh my by the day, and Who knows? Maybe tonight I'll write a little ditty and do another performance. I don't know. I think I need to like slowly release my songs. And I dropped 3 hits yesterday. And the best part is that when my wife was leaving for work, she was singing. She goes, "Who knew? Who knew?" I was just like, oh my God. And like that made it worth it. So if y'all loved the video and you were singing along or replaying it or whatever, thank you. If you absolutely turned your nose up and you were like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, that's okay too. It was supposed to be silly. It wasn't supposed to be a true audition for anything because, again, it was made up. But if you don't like my content, I still appreciate the view. Like and subscribe for more. You know? Alright, any hoozles. Maggie is still here. She was really, really sad the first few days. Well, really just the first day. And then she kind of got back into the swing of things. But since then, she's been like extra snuggly with me, which I absolutely love. But today, for some reason, I just had a feeling that she thought that she was really bad, and so we sent her to another home for a week so that she could see how good she had it here. And I don't know where that thought came from, but it made me really sad because I absolutely love this dog. And the day we got her back, I can't remember, I think it was the next day, we listed her back online trying to find her a home, a permanent one that doesn't have cats and all the things. We're doing a little more due diligence vetting people, even though we thought we vet that last person pretty good. And Maggie really did love Frank, which was their dog. But one of the first people to message was a dog trainer, and she had like 9 acres of land, like all these, and everything just sounded so good. She asked us to cut the rehoming fee because she's saving up for her wedding. And I was like, well, I don't really care about the rehoming fee as long as she goes to a good home. But then, like, I got to thinking about it. I'm like, you can't afford a small rehoming fee, but you can afford to take care of another dog? That's kind of bad. But then, like, things started snowballing. She couldn't do this. They didn't have a car. Like, all these things. And she's 2.5 hours away. And we were just like that. She wanted us to meet somebody, a friend that lived, like, over an hour from her to drop Maggie out. It just didn't make sense. We were like, yeah, we don't feel comfortable with dropping her with a stranger to take her to you. And so the lady's like, well, let me talk to my fiance. And we never heard back, so we got ghosted. But then somebody messaged Jen, and I forgot what this guy says he does. I think he's a teacher. No, he's not. He does something. He works from 6 to 2, and his girlfriend of many years is a nurse. They live about 2 hours away. He has, I want to say she said like 13 acres of land or something. He's got a fenced-in area, and like all the things. He doesn't have a dog. He really doesn't like cats. He sounds like a good fit. He's been looking for a dog for a while. He doesn't want a puppy, but he wants a younger dog. He's familiar with the breed and like all this stuff. So Maggie will potentially be going to a new home on Sunday. And that sucks because she and I have been like bonding even more. That's my baby. And I need her to go to a good home. And honestly, like for me, the sooner the better, as much as I want to be greedy and, you know, keep her for as long as I can. But for all parties involved, the sooner we can find her a permanent home, the better it's going to be. But now I'm worried about her in the transition because she has become very attached to me. It's going to be a hard adjustment, and I hope it works out. I told Jen that if for some reason, you know, we rehome her and then a little bit down the road they message us and like something's wrong, I said, we're going to take her back and then we're never getting rid of her. So it's kind of like the 3-strike rule, I guess. I'm going to put my foot down on that one, so I don't know how that's going to end up playing out. But I have been working with Maggie. Anytime I tell her to leave it, no matter what it is, even if it's Ranger, because she likes to try and get him to play, but he doesn't play because he's 10 years old today. Happy birthday, buddy. She'll leave it alone. And then anytime we're outside and we go back in, she goes straight to her kennel. So, like, she is very teachable. And I mean, in this not even a week that she's been back, I feel like she's come a long way. And in the time that she spent here the first go round, I mean, significant improvements. I mean, like, literally, we brought home a freaking dinosaur. And she left not as dinosaur. So, I don't know. It'll be bittersweet. But we got to do right for her. So, anyways, I'm going to go inside and cool off and spend some time with the kiddos and maybe write my next song. We'll see. It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly time. I forgot to mention two of the best parts of what happened last night. These two ladies and Ranger are the backup biscuits. There wasn't invisible people in the living room. Usually when I sing, they do that number. And so that's what I was hoping for. And I had already decided that my microphone was going to be a carrot because I just thought it would be funny and very fitting with the homesteading and my personality and all the things. And so they do get a carrot every night before bed, and it's always after they come in from the potty. And so I just let them back in, and they knew it was carrot time. But I wanted to try and make sure that they performed their part, and so I didn't give them their carrot right away. And I went ahead as I was getting things set up, the last few minutes of stuff or whatever, I grabbed one and I put it on the island in there, and I turned my back around for like 2 seconds. And the next thing I know, I hear Maggie like jump, and then I see her running out of the kitchen. And I'm like, what the heck? And I turn around and I'm like, what did she do? And I go in there, she's in her kennel eating a carrot. She stole my microphone. So then I had to go ahead and give the dogs their carrots. And so they proceeded to go to sleep. And due to that, they did not do their backup vocals like they were supposed to. And I'm very upset about that. So yeah, the backup biscuits are the dogs. You hear them now. Anytime I try and film a video, they're always barking, 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 except for when I freaking want them to. And then Maggie stole my microphone. It's very disappointing. But hilarious. I mean, it would have been better if I caught it on camera. But no, I didn't, because I suck. So, anyways, I'm going to let these girls run around and play and do their thing while I plan whatever comes next. Bum, bum, bum. This makes me so happy because Darla needs this, and Ranger isn't able to do it, and I don't think he would. He's not a big player. Of course, I sat here and watched them run for like 5 minutes, and Darla doesn't even normally go that long, and now they're like taking a break. But Maggie gets on Darla's nerves sometimes, but they really like each other. What is it, babies? I'll miss that. Amongst other things, I'll really miss seeing Darla play. Because the time she's gone to the dog park, she doesn't play. Like, the first time I took her, there was this lady, she was like doing laps. It was a really decent sized dog park. And she was just getting her steps in, and Darla didn't care about the 5 or 6 dogs that were there. She just started following behind that lady, and anytime she would get near me, she would check in and keep on going. And I'm like, do we take you to the dog park so you can get your steps in? Because you're supposed to be socializing and playing. But, so this is the first dog we've ever actually seen her play with. And, like I said, that in part is going to be one of the many reasons why it hurts so bad to have to give Maggie up. But it's for the better. I mean, look at Darla's face. You tell her, pumpkin. That's a happy dog. That's a happy baby. Mags, come here. Maggie, come. Oh, I think she's pooping. Darlita. Darlita, are you having a good time, baby? Are you having a good time with Sissy? Hi. Yeah. Yeah, you having the best time in the world? Yeah, on brother's birthday? Yeah. Alright, good talk. Okay, guys. Look. I meant to do this a couple days ago, but life, you know? They're big enough. They need to go in the yard. Look at this. And I have a bucket to catch my drips.
Holy cow.
So this is what I was saying. The hard part is getting this back out because it's going to tear up some of these roots. And there's really not a good way to avoid it, so you just have to be as gentle as you can. And the thing that worries me with this being sunflowers is that they grow a really big taproot, this guy, really, really fast. And I don't want to damage that because if I do, it's going to die. There's not going to be any... There's my backup biscuits! There's not going to be any saving it. So this may or may not work. We're just going to be as gentle as we can and pulling all of them out and trying to get them transplanted today because should have done it a few days ago. So yeah, it's just like a freaking web of mess, you know. And Shadow's down there waiting. She's like, "Mom, I want it. Mom, you're like getting rain on me, Mom." Yeah, I'm not really sure how well this is going to work. But I'm trying to unbraid it. Oh, I think I found the one. That's the one that I really want to keep, I believe. Did I get it? It's part of it. Okay. So, see? But I'm not as worried about that one as the one that I just unbraided here that will pull right out. So now I got to figure out where this guy is in this mess. And of course I decided to do this right as a friend should be arriving. He didn't know he was going to help plant sunflowers, you know. It is what it is. So, okay. Maybe, guys. Maybe. Oh, they're still tangled right there. I've got some of these that are wrapping around the little holes in this thing. Very gently trying to keep as many roots intact as I can. Taproot, got it.
Good job.
But look how many roots we don't have.
Can we still plant those?
The roots?
Yeah.
Well, the roots aren't going to do anything.
Okay.
I am going to plant them because it's just going to break down and be more organic material for the soil. But in terms of putting them with a sunflower or trying to grow another, that's a no-go. Look, there's a root right here from another guy. So I'm not going to make you watch me do this 8 times. But let's take a look at these root systems. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, because it unplanted. I was going to say, I don't know what's going on with this little guy. But he's got a little baby root system, so I'm going to try and put him back in this. And maybe it will grow. Maybe. So we'll leave him back in there. Let's see. But see how it's picking up the lettuce? They have intertwined. And once I pull all these out, we're definitely going to have to add more water. And it's time to put more of the nutrients in here. I don't want Jen to yell at me for getting water on the floor either. That's a pretty good transplant time. He's got 2 big leaves and some small leaves. He's a little shorter than I would want for transplanting because you want to do between 4 and 6 inches. But he's pretty damn close, but look at those roots. Look at that taproot I was telling you about. Yo, I sound smart. And I'm not. But you know what? It's fine. Okay. This little guy. Wow, I feel it unbraiding. Look at that. I'm only a little proud of myself. This one didn't make it. I don't know if it unrooted like the other guy, but that's fine. Look at, it had a good root. So we'll keep that plug. We'll put something else in there. I just want to check a lettuce. So this is the small lettuce. Holy crap. That's pretty good for lettuce roots, I'm not going to lie. And that's the small one. Sunflower. Whoa, what is happening?
Oh, that's a big old clump.
Wow, that's going to be a pain in my butt, but it's fine. I'm going to do it. And then...
Oh no!
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Shadow, don't eat it.
Hey, that one did itself. I don't know where the roots went. That's okay. We're still going to plant it. There's a seed. This little guy is not doing too hot. Okay. So I'm going to space out my lettuce a little bit in here.
No, ma'am. No. That is not string.
Y'all look at it. Like, that's pretty good. Where's all that root coming from? I don't know. Alright, so yeah, that's where we're at. And I definitely have to put more water in this sucker because these plants drank it. They were thirsty.
Shadow, no.
Alright.
She thinks it's a toy.
I know, because she's a butthead. So yeah, I'm going to get all these little guys out of here and I'm going to go get them planted. Yeah. Alright, Jen's about to do her first harvest of the year.
Look at the little guys. Ooh, that's a good looking one.
This is officially the biggest harvest of the year.
Quite ready. These two are almost, probably tomorrow. Look at them.
Biggest harvest of the year at one time.
I need to wash them first.
Yay, we did it. Also, I have 2 hens that are laying down. Now just one. And I think we're going to have eggs soon. I think she's making a little nesting box right there on the ground. When I came out a little bit ago, there were 2 of them in it. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with my chickens?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
And her butt's kind of up.
Well, she was just, it looked like she was having a seizure. It scared me for a second. I don't know if you guys can see through this. But yeah, when I came out a few minutes ago, there were 2 of them there. And now there's the one.
Is she okay?
I think she's literally about to lay her first egg. But I disturbed them when I was there. And so yeah. These are my girls. Oh yeah, they want that grass. Look at them.
Yeah, as long as they don't get out.
So today they had frozen ice with watermelon in it, some sourdough discard, and some grass. Is that what it looks like? She's either about to lay an egg or she's dying. I don't know which, and I hope it's egg. This is a first for me. But when I went in here with them, they were fine. So, I don't know. Are you trying to escape? Alright, that's all. Today for a snack, the girls got ice cubes with some crushed eggshells in it and a lot of watermelon. And of course, I have their little fan with their mister going. And they got a nice big pile of grass because they love it. They are all 6 doing well. They dug 2 holes in here, but I did not find any eggs, so no rent was collected today. But it is coming. After the storm last night, it is very hot and humid out here. So this will probably be the first of many ice snacks they get today. But hopefully this keeps them cool for a while and happy. So that's my little chicken update. This morning my wife yelled at me and she was like, babe, oh my God, you gotta go outside. You gotta see the sunflowers. Oh my God. And I was like, yeah, I know, honey. So you remember how a little bit ago in the video I was like, she's not gonna see this for a while. She noticed it because it opened. And so we were just in a debate about where this one originated from, because she's like, I don't think that's the one that Sue gave us last year because it's a lot smaller. And I'm like, oh no, honey, this isn't a small plant. She goes, no, the sunflower. And so we're still debating on where this one came from. It had to have been Sue and or a bird dropped it here, because I haven't planted sunflowers in this vicinity other than the ones we got from Sue. And these things are significantly bigger, not the sunflower right now, than any that I have ever planted before, with the exception of the ones that we got from Sue. I mean, these are definitely Sue's babies. Also, I've got a potato dying out, so I'm so ready to harvest that and see if we struck gold or if we need to try again next year. Yeah.